Yo, we back in the building. I don't know why the intro didn't want to play. I spent all that time putting together that fire intro. Well, we back. It's episode 2 of a show that we haven't had the name of, so I just called it J Hill Live. J Hill is in the building.
JS1 is in the building. What's up, gang?
What's going on, fam? How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. It's Thursday. Got a little drink in my cup. You feel me? How you?
Oh, you ain't tell me we could drink on the show.
Why would you drink on the show?
Don't make me have to go grab this Hennessy. You know what I mean? But hey, I did you see the numbers from the first episode, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like that. I like that.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Nah.
Hey, this is something this is a new endeavor. You know what I'm saying? This is just for fun. Nothing so serious. We chilling, talking our shit over some drinks, but you don't got to drink, but whatever.
Nah, I'm most definitely making this a habit. You know what I mean? They kick in the alcohol. So, all right, man. It's been 2 days. You done had time. You ain't had to see my face. So, what you been doing?
Shit, bro. I've been chilling for had the interview with Camp yesterday.
Okay.
I've been, you know how it goes, working, studying.
Okay. What you studying?
Podcasts, setup, interviews, shit like that. You know.
So what's the plan for the New Year's? What's the New Year's plan?
I don't have no damn plans, bro. I told you this, dog.
Yo, I just want y'all to see this guy. Y'all, when y'all be wanting to know, like, yo, he be turning up. I know he at all the hottest parties. Like, yo, he be at home, bro. He is definitely. Not saying that you couldn't turn up if you wanted to, but you really be a homebody for real. Yo, shout out to Ayo Styles. Yo, let me give you some hand claps, bro. Appreciate that love in that chat room. Hey, if y'all listening right now, y'all can tap in. You can ask any kind of questions you want to. You know what I mean? Y'all know how we do. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get started. I ain't trying to we ain't trying to go crazy all day. We gonna get right to the business. The U.S. banned TikTok on government devices. I brought this up and threw it on the docket because number one, we are in the social media space. We create content on social media. This is how we make money. The question comes down to, like, how do y'all feel about this? Like, I mean, did you hear about this news, or is this something new to you?
I heard about it, but I ain't really, I don't be on TikTok like that. So I just seen it. I threw that shit in the trash. I just kept going.
So like so I don't fear, to clarify so that people have an understanding, if you're not familiar with TikTok and how TikTok is structured, it is it's an Asian, it is a Chinese business. It is I don't know if it's predominantly owned by China, but they have a large interest in TikTok, and they utilize information from customers from all over the world. So not only are they taking your email address, your personal information, actually TikTok has access to your other programs, so they can they also have access to your keystrokes. So when you are searching for stuff, or you know loading up porn, or whatever you're doing, they getting access to it. So the number one reason why the US government banned it from their government government phones is because, number one, state secrets. Come on, bro. That's number one. But let's all be considerate of the fact that a foreign government having influence on what we see and how we look at the world. I mean, it's potentially a dangerous thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I feel like we should be worried about every platform doing that. However, like, this is America, and we always gonna assume the best about our own and assume the worst about somebody else. I mean, that's just where we at with it. There's also talk of them banning TikTok completely out of the United States, which is going to cause a lot of problems for creators in general. That meaning that it's going to be harder for the creatives, because TikTok came out and was paying people big checks. Yeah. I know some people that came up off of TikTok. So like, just considering how much money to potentially be losing. But like, as I make this statement, I need every creator out here. If your main business is TikTok, you need to be diversifying as much as possible. Meaning that, hey, man, if you're able to build an audience on TikTok, you should be trying to figure out ways to pivot that content to other platforms. So, like, don't just feel like, I feel like any person that's like, oh, I'm only on TikTok, or I'm only on Twitch, or I'm only on YouTube. This is not a smart idea. As a business person, you need to be diversifying and making sure that you're building up on other platforms as well. And I'm not necessarily saying that you have to create different content for each platform, but you could be repurposing content. So you can shoot something and create it on TikTok, download it, and then you can repurpose it on YouTube. You can repurpose it on Instagram. So let's just be smart about that. I just kind of wanted to put that out there. That is something, even if you're an investor in TikTok, you need to be mindful of that. I'm not necessarily saying pull your money out and just go crazy. It's not a firestorm that I'm trying to create, but like be mindful of that.
That's a lot of game. I'm glad you even know that much to be able to go into that.
Yeah, well, I listen. Well, first of all, I've been doing a lot of investing over the last 2 years. Like, I've been taking a lot of extra money and I've been dumping it into stocks. And let me tell you right now, I have a lot of money in Tesla and I'm not happy. I am down lots of money, but we're not gonna get into that. But as a person, as you get older, let me not talk about being older, but as you start getting money, you need to be finding ways to put your money to work. But that also means that you can't be as disconnected from the world. Like, once you start investing in this stuff, you kind of need to stay in the know so that all right, I might need to pool my money, or hey, this might be a great opportunity to invest here and there. So, like, as young black people, man, I always tell everybody, bro, stay on the cusp of what's going on in the world. Know what's going on around you, because it's going to affect your money. I'm like, this ain't about, being cool and knowing who, Nancy Pelosi is and all of that, and being in, knowing what the Obamas are or what Obama's playlist is. No, bro, protect your money. Know what you're being invested in. Know what's going on in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? So that you can protect your family, you can protect your assets, you can protect your investments. Like, that's all I'm gonna get into, because I ain't trying to overtalk it.
No, you good. I want to ask you, but you being down in stocks, don't you like, if it go back up, you still get your money back, right?
Yeah. You never. Okay. I tell people like this, like, if there is a strategy, I don't really have a strategy, but what they call my investment strategy is long-term investing, meaning that I'm not putting the money in so that I can see it go up and then I'm just going to take it out. So, like, my whole thing is I put the money in there for the long ride. So, like, I'm investing in Tesla for the next 10 years. I'm not worried about taking the money out. It's taking a dip right now, and I mean, it's taking a serious dip, like almost 13 or 14% dip, you know what I mean? And which is costing me hundreds of dollars, but I'm not worried about it, because I know, first of all, Tesla is huge in the solar right now. Solar is coming up so big, especially with like everybody right now losing power, getting backup generators. And I'm telling people, why are you getting backup generators, bro? You need to be getting you some solar power panels. Like, those are things that you need to get into. That's number one. Number two, automated vehicles is going to be huge. And you think Tesla is not going to be on the forefront of that? Even though there's a huge debate about software ownership and how a person that buys a Tesla should own the software and and the hardware. There's a big discussion around it, but Tesla has always been very able to listen to what's being said and make adjustments and make their customers happy. So, like, I'm willing to stay in, for the long jump, and that's just where I'm at with it. When it comes down to Amazon, long-term investment. Yes, I came up during the pandemic like crazy, thank God, but I wasn't about to pull out of it just because my stock went up 300%. I'm like, I'm keeping it, and we're going to keep letting it ride. But when you're thinking about investing, I tell people all the time, kind of have a strategy of what you want to do, so that way when you see something go down, you don't freak out. Or if you do see something go down and you want to get out of it and try to pivot to something else, well, always keep in mind what your plan is going into it, and don't let people shake you. Don't let the time shake you, because I'm gonna tell you a horror story. Personal horror story. I got into what is the name of that? What is the name of that movie theater? The name of the movie theater is AMC. I'm a huge AMC fan. I'm a huge movie fan. So I dumped a few $100s into AMC, as a stock, because they're on the Fortune 500. I'm not on Fortune 500, but they have stock for you to buy. So I bought a bunch of stock. The pandemic hit. I wrote it out. No. I didn't drop it. I wrote it out. I was
That's
mad.
good.
I wrote it out
on the end.
Oh yeah, it started coming back. But this is what happened. 2021, a news report came out, and it said AMC is like about to file for bankruptcy, and then the next day there was an announcement that who was it, Universal or one of those big studios was like, we're not sending any of our stuff to the theaters, and we're gonna do everything on streaming. Right. When I saw that, I ain't gonna lie, that's when I freaked out. I pulled all of my money out of it. A week later, they struck a deal that pulled. I think the studios bought into AMC, and then decided to release all of their stuff, not only in theaters but on streaming at the same time. The stock goes through the roof, and I lose literally hundreds of dollars, like so tripping. And I'm like, if that's not a lesson for y'all to think about. It's like, do not let things frazzle you. Don't freak out. I thought it was over for the movie theaters. It was a sad experience for me, and I thought I was trying to save what little bit of money I had left, and I tried to pull it, and I wasn't really doing, really well on the outside world. So I was trying to hope if I could grab this money and kind of throw it somewhere else to kind of make it a safe haven, and I ended up losing out big. So like, that's just another prime example. And if you look at the stock for AMC is doing pretty freaking good right now, man. They just had a good year with all of these films coming back. You know what I'm saying? Avatar and Wakanda Forever and all that stuff like that. So, that's that. So like, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a happy ending.
No, I'm still stupid.
It's all good, man. I'm gonna take a drink to my guy, man.
Man, I appreciate you. Yo, let me ask you: have you really invested any of your money? Outside of your business? Do you really do you invest at all?
Not in stocks. I invested in my friend's business. It's been going well already. So I bought some like food or whatever, some inventory. I think that's it.
Wait a minute. Did you invest as an ownership, or you invested as you bought some plates and got some food?
Oh nah, as in like, I wouldn't say ownership because I don't own nothing, but I bought inventory for the store.
And then what? And then how do you get a return on that? So it's like, all right, you bought 2 cases of chicken. Are you getting $1.50 off of every plate that's being sold?
Nah, I get like.
Okay, that's kind of gangster. I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of gangster. All right.
Yeah, I get like it's like 1.15% off of like one. I don't know how it's like 1.5 off of every dollar, some shit like that. I don't know. It ain't nothing crazy, but it's good enough. It's something.
No. I ain't mad at you on that. I tell people all the time, like, investing is all about what makes you feel comfortable. All right. You get 15
every dollar.
Okay, so yeah, 15 cents off of every dollar, so it's 15%. You make it a 15% profit. All right, so like, invest in what makes you feel comfortable. If investing with your friends makes you feel comfortable, do that. You know what I mean? If you're more comfortable investing in stocks, do that. Like, one of the things Earn Your Leisure said that really, really hit home with me. He was like, yo, you're going to invest in these companies regardless of how you look at it. He was like, but you're either investing on the consumer side, purchasing the products. Either I'm gonna be a Samsung investor buying the phone, or I could buy stock. When I invest in the product and on the consumer side, I don't make any profit off of it. But when I invest on the investment side of it, you know what I'm saying, then I get a kickback. If I think about it, I spend $1,000 every 2 years on a new Samsung phone. Think about if you dumped $1,000 in the Samsung every year, what that could return for you potentially over the time. Or even, let's just say, because I know a lot of your viewers don't like Android. So all of you iPhone people, the same amount of money you dump in a phone, if you took that right, and I know that's an iPhone 14. He ain't got no old phone.
So somebody just told me, like, Jay, you need an iPhone 14. This is 12. It's like 11. Yeah.
Oh my God, it is not. Look, it's almost the same exact phone. The camera might be a little bit better. It ain't really that much different. Facts. So like, you know what I mean? If you take that $1,000 and you put that into some Apple stock, bro, Apple stock consistently does well year in and year out. Period. You know what I'm saying? And it's not difficult. There's 1,000 apps nowadays that you can download. I use Stash, and I actually invest in 2 different stocks. So I use Stash, and I also use Cash App. Cash App has a section where you can buy stock in there. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of investing, cryptocurrency just took a big hit this year. How familiar are you with crypto?
I ain't really that familiar. I just know cryptocurrency was kind of like wake up now. Everybody was pushing cryptocurrency. Everybody was like, yo, you got to get this crypto. You got to get this crypto. And now I don't want to say I told you
they got quiet. They got quiet.
Everybody's quiet. Everybody's nobody said nothing about no crypto. Like, where y'all was at? Where y'all at now?
That is a super big fact. A lot of people talk about crypto super heavy, and now nobody's saying nothing. But like, I feel like smart investors are all toting the line. Okay, so before I even get into this article, let me make this statement. You know what I'm saying? If you are somebody that is used to listening to people talk about investing in crypto, most of the time they are heavily invested. If I've got $20,000 tied up in the crypto, and I know that people listen to me, do you think I'm about to tell people, yo, bro, get out of crypto now? No, you don't want to say that, because guess what? I'm gonna lose that whole 20 when the market crashes. You know what I'm saying? So let's remember, when we have this discussion, I'm about to give you both sides of the discussion. I'm gonna give you the invested side, and I'm gonna give you the non-invested side. Let's be completely honest. Has crypto have the ability to change the future of how we do business? Yes. This is potentially what we've been talking about in television and in film and in pop culture for the last 50 years. One world currency. Now, it sounds like the end of days, because that's what they talk about in the Bible. Like, oh, once everybody got the same money, the same language, it's going to be the end. But let's look at the reality of things. If you move around the world, if you move out of the country a lot, you understand how frustrating it is, switching currencies from, if I go to Jamaica, I got to get Jamaican, whatever they got. Or if I go to London, it's frustrating. It's a lot of currency exchanging. If somebody needs to send you money, or say if you wanted to buy a house somewhere, it gets super complicated dealing from one bank to the next, how to make things happen. Just imagine how convenient and easy it becomes for you to have one currency no matter where you are in the world, and you can transact business at a drop of a dime. Imagine the same concept if I got a website. If I'm, like we are the J Hill Network. So like, come the time when we start asking people to buy in Patreon or whatever, just imagine if everybody had one currency. It makes it super easy for us to service our customers, but in turn for us to be able to take in currency so that we can continue to build our business. Like, at the end of the day, it makes sense. However, this is just like the internet from the late 90s. Internet went big, 98, 99. There was a significant crash of the internet. People thought it was like, because when the internet first popped and things started coming about, a lot of you guys that are probably watching right now were either babies or not even born at the time. The internet was the Wild Wild West in a serious way. A lot of people didn't know what it could be. There was no social media. There was no streaming. Video was expensive. Even getting the internet was like, the dial-up that we'd make fun of was $50, $60 a month. So and the only thing you could do was dial up. You could get into a little chat room. You could send emails, and you could go to a website, and it may take 5-6 minutes for the website to load. That's just what it was. And computers were super slow. So just imagine when people have kept saying, the internet is the future. Everything is going to be conducted on the internet. Imagine people going, no, why would this dial-up thing? This thing takes forever. Like, I'm not, like, it would take 20 minutes for a porn to load. Like, why would I care? I can just go to the store and get a magazine. I hate bringing a porn, but it's such a ubiquitous.
The magazines used to be lit, though.
The magazines used to be off the chain. Like, why would I wait for this picture to load?
That was all we had at one point in time.
So just imagine how we kind of conceptualize what nobody could understand, that two guys in two parts of the country would be on a live stream at the same time, having a discussion, talking to hundreds of people. Like that concept hadn't even been invented or fathomed. Star Trek was a foregone conclusion. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely fantasy. So just imagine how we're looking at crypto going, what? This is a scheme. Niggas is trying to hustle. No, it's just in its infancy stages. And companies haven't found and have not developed ways to integrate it yet. And we haven't found a way to properly service the customer base and keep the government out of it. Or if the government is going to be involved, if all the governments are going to be involved, how can they be involved without hindering or ripping people off? And that's the process that they're going through right now. It's like, how do we integrate it into our everyday lives, and how can we do it to where people don't get hurt in mass, where the public is protected, at least on a general level? Because I don't care who you are. You can sit here and talk about crypto. How many times have you been ripped off from your bank? Somebody might have got access to your bank card and now they taking money out your account, or shoot, some money might have ended up in your account that you weren't expecting, or the bank hit you with some crazy fee and didn't tell you nothing. So like it's not like there hasn't been the potential of problems in banking. It's always been there. It's just that now we've got a new way to bank. You know, it's something that's completely foreign to us and we're trying to become accustomed to it. Cryptocurrency ain't going nowhere. And I'm not investing in it at all. I'm gonna tell you, I have zero money in crypto, but that doesn't mean that I don't feel like it's gonna be that wave. It's just gonna take time, and then once they figure it out, it's gonna go nuts. So, if you want to take the risk and you've got expendable cash, get you some Bitcoin and sit on
cash. Does anybody
expendable cash? You do.
I don't have no damn expendable. All my cash, I need all my cash, man. Ain't no expendable nothing.
Man, stop buying all that expensive wave juice, yo, and let it roll. Unspoken Atlanta, shout out to you.
Shout out to my guy Najee.
Yeah. Shout out to Aquarius MC. All right, y'all jumping in, get involved, man. If y'all got questions, comments, anything you want to add, you want to subtract, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna read this, and then you know what I'm saying, then we'll move on to the next thing, because I know y'all really only came here for Chrisean and Blueface. So all right, so there's an expression crypto enthusiasts use with fingers crossed in the hopes a particular digital currency's wallet will blast off to the moon. Much of crypto did graze the stratosphere at the start of 2022 when Ethereum, which is a specific coin in crypto, was astronomically high, but a few months later it all came crashing down to earth. Bitcoin's value is roughly a fourth. It is roughly a fourth of what it was a year ago. A year ago, Bitcoin, I remember one of my homies, I was hanging out with him in his studio, and Bitcoin was up to $65,000 a coin. If I go in my Cash App right now, hold on, let me. I'm
about to look right now. I'm about to buy some Bitcoin right now.
Yo, let's see how much Bitcoin. He said, "How do we do this?" Hold on. All right, hold on. Can y'all see that? Let me see if I can get it up on the screen. $16,620 a coin. It was up to $65,000 last year. Damn. Per coin, and now it's gone down to 16. Now, I was watching EYL. They made a statement that it could potentially go down further to like 12. They said it's gonna the bottom, meaning that it won't drop lower than $12,000 a coin. So they was like, if it gets down that low, definitely want to buy up. But yo, this is definitely the time. If you really want to be invested in crypto, this is the time to get into it. This is definitely the time. So anyway, Bitcoin's value is roughly a fourth of what it was a year ago. The industry is just starting to grapple with the fallout from the catastrophic implosion of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. So let me run into this real quick so you guys can get a little bit of understanding. And I'm sorry, I'm just going so tech and information heavy today, but this is definitely something I kind of wanted to get out there, and I kind of wanted to throw on the table and talk about. So like FTX is kind of like a stock market exchange. It's just it was an app that was developed for people to bring their coins to market. Because let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is a term used for coins that people use to sell and to buy and trade. So there was a cryptocurrency market, meaning that there were multiple coins. So you got Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, you got Doggy Coin, you have, this coin, Shinobi, and this and that. Shoot, even rappers had coins. Your boy Jim Jones had a coin, and this person had a coin, and that person had a coin. So like that became the marketplace. FTX was a marketplace for people to buy and sell coins. So Jay Hill could buy his coin he could buy Bitcoin, he could buy Dogecoin, he could buy this, and then you could also sell it on the FTX. It was just a fair exchange. So obviously a group of Caucasian guys got together, invested, they raised billions of dollars. They got this market up and going. They started making money. The problem is that what they were doing was they were taking money from the investors. So they were taking our money that we were investing in the coins, and they started investing it into other things. So like they homeboy came and was like, yo, bro, I want to start a snowboarding shop down here in Miami. They be like, yo, how much you need? Yo, I need like, $200 million. Got you, bro. Let me wire that to you. You got that. Because from their perspective, hey, cryptocurrency is hot. Last year and this year, earlier this year, investing in cryptocurrency was the conversation. It was the thing. It was white hot. So just imagine people are thinking this is an infinite amount of money that's going to be invested into this, and nobody's going to see it coming. Nobody's going to see this little bit of this. Only 200 million. I'm giving away to these different businesses. Nobody's going to miss it. So what ends up happening is they get caught. The FCC, which is a division of the United States government that investigates inappropriate investing, saw that things were going on, in addition to the fact that they were spending money at a rate that they weren't getting it back, and it became a big problem. Subsequently, that FTX has to file for bankruptcy. Obviously, why? Because they spent up all of the money that they had, and then now they can't be responsible for giving to covering all of the money that was being spent in the marketplace. So like obviously that shook the marketplace, because people that were already not really comfortable with cryptocurrency now look at this as like, yo, see, this is a scheme, this is a hustle. And then people obviously starts mass exiting. They start dumping all of their Bitcoin, and then there you go, the value goes down. So like without me having to read more on it, that's pretty much how we got to where we are now. So now it comes, of course, people were skeptical 6 to 12 months ago. Well, just imagine how they feel right now. Right. Do you feel like people are about to start dumping a whole bunch of money? No. But as a smart investor that knows that Bitcoin and that cryptocurrency isn't going to go anywhere, you just got to ride the wave, baby. You take the L, and this is a good time. And this is how investors think. Yo, this is the perfect time. I'm going to dump. If you have millions of dollars, it's nothing to go, I'm about to double and triple down on Bitcoin. Let me go and spend $500,000 in the Bitcoin. And as it crawls its way back up to dominance, I'm already invested, baby. I'm good. I'm gonna come out on top. So like, do your investigations. I tell everybody, like, don't sit here and listen to my fat ass talk trash. Do your investigations, man. Look into the viability of the product. Start thinking about the future. How does this apply to the world in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? What they're trying to do with virtual reality. Not just putting it on the thing and shooting guns at a zombie, but virtual reality as far as like people opening up virtual venues. Well, how will they be transacting money if they having all these virtual venues, NFTs? Well, they all have to transact a certain way. So like, yo, you know what I mean? And coming up with a universal coin that can manage everything is just gonna be a part of it. But anyway, I'm done with all of that. I'm not gonna keep over talking y'all, man, because I know I just run out my mouth.
I felt like I was in math class for a second, but I'm glad you did say that. All in all, if you got some extra money, put it in Bitcoin, because you might double that, triple that, or quadruple that for real. Basically.
Yeah, most definitely. Right, and stay getting educated about it. Like, yo, do not just assume what I'm saying is the right thing to do and just run with it. Bro, get you know what I mean? Get knowledgeable. That's all I had to say.
Yo, I didn't know you was like so interested in Bitcoin and stuff like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm just getting old. As I'm telling you, when you get older, you start you be like, I'm listening to NPR every day. Now I'm listening to Bloomberg every day, and I'm listening to these people talk about money. I'm looking at better ways to invest my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like literally my every week is, all right, I got this bread. Do I spend it on some clothes? Or do I, you know what I mean? Like right now, I'm thinking about new tires on my car. Should I get Pirellis, or should I get something less expensive and take this other bread and put it into this? So like, I'm trying to, it becomes for real. Yeah, every day in your 40s becomes a fight to make sure that you have money to retire on. And the 401k ain't enough. So like, what do we do to cushion a blow for? I'm not even worried about right now. I'm worried about 30, 40 years from now when I'm old and I can't work no more. My knees ain't good. So like, you know what I'm saying? Where do I have money in place to take care of me, regardless of whether I have a job or whether, you know, this happens or that happens? Like, you know what I'm saying? How do I take care of myself? So those are the things that become priority. And yes, investing has become a huge part of my life because of me planning for the future.
And that's crazy. That's a great point, because like I'm trying to get into investing, right? I'm trying to get into investing really heavy, but it's only to make some more money. It's only to make sure I have more money. And I mean, granted, it's the same thing, so I can take care of myself and my family when I get older. But that ain't really that ain't what I'm thinking about. Like my first thought is I'm trying to run the bag up, so I'm trying to like invest in shit so I can get this ROI. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm thinking about. But you make it seem so much more sophisticated.
Yeah, bro. Oh, thank you. First of all, I appreciate that. But I would tell you the thing that I never listened to my aunt tell me when I was younger, and I'm telling you this now, bro. And I hope that you hear better than I heard, because I was hard headed. Is that my aunt told me when I was super young? She said, get you an insurance policy. And there's multiple types of insurance policies, but you know, sit down with an insurance person, have that discussion about like a whole life policy, which is a policy that pretty much becomes an investment. You pay into that joint, but you can borrow against it, you know what I'm saying, when times get hard, but it's there for you. Not only is it important because God forbid if God takes you off the planet, you know what I'm saying, your family and your loved ones can bury you, but also leaving something behind for that next generation. You know what I'm saying? Not only just that, but having that becomes another investment. You know, you got to think about everywhere you send your money to has to be an investment that can come back to you. So like if you investing into that life insurance policy, it can help you in the future. You know what I mean? You investing into some kind of like long-term savings. So like 401k is just an example of long-term savings, but that's not the only way you can invest in retirement. You can establish 2 and 3 secondary accounts, and then just put the money in there, like high interest year accounts. So you want to kind of start going to the bank and having those conversations with the bankers and going, hey bro, like what kind of accounts do I have to where if I put up 5-10 grand, let's not think big. I'm thinking poor man, like me, like, yo, if you only making $800 to $1,000 a week, you know, what does that equal out to? So you might have $200 that you can pull out to save, you know, if God is willing. You can take that $100 to $200 a week and you can put that into a high interest yield account. Think about $100 a week times 52 weeks. That's almost like $5,200 a year. And then it's accruing interest. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start thinking about stuff like that long term, and you're not like, don't even touch the money. Don't spend it. I don't care how bad life gets. If you're living on the street, let it stay in the bank, and then just keep building off in small. Once again, the big wins are the small wins, you know, insurance, the retirement accounts. And you can still have money to get drunk and go out and party and you know, and have orgies or whatever. Like nobody's stopping you from doing any of that, but just making sure that you're taking those small incremental steps to make sure that you're secure for the long run is super duper important. You know what I mean? So like, yo, those are the things I would tell you, J Hill. Those are the first things you should have, because those are the things that are gonna have your back regardless of if life goes up, down, or sideways. You know what I mean?
Make sure I get me like a Roth ROA, some shit like that. A Roth.
Correct. Yep. Correct.
I don't know the exact. I've seen people talking about it, so I'm not really too versed in that shit.
Nah, but it's super important, man. Like, I mean, especially at your age. Like, you ain't in your 20s no more. Like I tell people, I tell my nieces and nephews this all the time. you can mess up your 20s. That's what your 20s is for. Like when you're a baby and you're a child and you're a teenager, cool. You know, ain't nobody. But like once you grown, you can stick it wherever you want to stick it. You can go wherever you want to go. You party how you cool. But once you hit 30, you need to start setting it up for the future. You know what I mean? And if you one of those people that really want to hustle in your 20s, you can start setting it up for your future in your 20s and make your 30s even easier. So like if you take the time now in your early 30s, put all this stuff together and make sure that every paycheck that money just disappears. Man, wherever that's supposed to go, let it go there and don't even think about it. Yo, I'm telling you, you'll hit your 40s set.
That's $1 million worth of game right there.
And guess what? And I hate to say it, but I only had 1 or 2 family members. I got a huge family. You know this because you've been at one of my family functions. Like, I only had 2 family members that would actually talk numbers with me, that would talk about, you know, the future. And because I was so naive and I was so amped up about being on my own and having my own stuff and trying to keep up with the next person, I didn't really think about how important what they were saying was to me. You know what I'm saying? Until I start getting in my late 30s and I'm start thinking about, like, you start looking at your retirement going, that's all I got for retirement? And then you see the cost of living just almost double the way it has, bro. Like, it's not easy. Like, they're having all these discussions about why people are buying you know, these different little tiny houses. And I was like, because the cost of living is so crazy high for the average person. Like, yo, yes, we living in matchboxes because you're trying to keep X amount of dollars in your pocket just so you can maintain, just so you can eat shrimp and steak or whatever you want to eat. But just imagine with you right now, you with wifey and your daughter, just imagine how much you guys have to spend on a monthly basis just to survive. And if you weren't so blessed, how would you be able to maintain that?
Bro, I be thinking about that all the time, bro. Like, everything is so expensive. Like, even rent. I was talking to somebody today and they was like, yeah, no, not even a day. It was yesterday. They was like, you know, I'm like, it's expensive in Midtown. And they like, yeah, but that's why we gotta make more money. Because when you make more money, you ain't thinking about it. But honestly, I'm thinking about it regardless, because it's like, bro,
right,
this much for an apartment, I ain't getting no more money from it. Like, it ain't increasing in value. If anything, the rent go up every year. So it's no gain into it, right? So it's like, man, this shit, it's not even smart. Like, I be seeing people talk about their rent, how much they pay in rent. That's not even a flex. Like, that's stupid. It's like, it's not even a flex. Like,
yeah. When somebody tell me that they spending, you know, 5 and 10 grand a month, and I'm like for rent, I'm like, you might as well buy a house. Like, what's the difference, bro? Like, get you something that you own. You can at least borrow against it. You know what I mean? You at least you own it. You can do what you want to do with it. You know what I mean? I try to tell people this all the time, and I'm like, even you at this moment in your life, you could buy a house. There's nothing stopping you from buying a house. You know,
it's something stop me, but.
Oh, bad credit. So
no, it is. It's funny because, bro, like, I know we joke about this and shit, but like, this shit is real. It's the same with money, bro. You gotta be in a position to win, and maybe not everybody, but I had to have this experience. You gotta be in position to win, lose it, to understand how important it was. So when you get it back, you don't fuck it up. Because, like, I came here. Yeah. I got my credit up, but, like, you know, I did some knucklehead shit because it was just like I had mad credit cards. I got all these monies on this credit cards, and I'm like, shit, fuck it, let's have fun. You feel me? And then I understood. Now I'm in a position where it's like I need my credit. Right now I'm in a position where my credit is more important than the money that I was spending. So I do think that it was important for me to have it and lose it. So when I do get it back, I know how important it is to keep that shit up there. To be honest.
Word.
Like,
I feel like the thing that we have to learn as a people, as young black people, is we gotta learn to be comfortable with boring. You know what I'm saying? And boring isn't, you know, oh man, my life sucks because all I do is go home and go to work, and it's like, nobody told you couldn't have a hobby. Like, everything doesn't necessarily need for you to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for you to have. I feel like we equate fun with large expenditures. Yeah, like yo, so when we go to the club, yo, I ain't going unless we got the section. We gotta have 3 bottles. Yo,
Let's
I gotta
enjoy
have a
it.
new outfit. Like, and then you there, you get drunk, and then it's like, and then like nobody really analyzes what made the club fun. You, your friends,
The
the
music.
experience, spending time, like the music, spending time together. Why y'all ain't just get drunk at the house for like a quarter of the cost? Like you could have invited, because you really ain't socializing with nobody in the club. It's just you and your homies. Y'all in the, I
Well,
mean,
you
if
overlooking,
you single, then you go and
but
do a
you
little
but you
poaching. But
overlook you even if you got a girl, you overlooking the experience though. Like you said what you paying for. One of the things is the experience, right? So even when I buy a bottle, when I get the lights, my name on the sign, I get the girls to bring it to me. All that's a part of the experience. So you can't overlook that. And we do pay for experiences. We pay for convenience. We pay for things that we like. So you can't overlook that part. Yeah, in hindsight, it's easier to look at things in hindsight because you out of the situation. But in hindsight, yeah, it's like, okay, I got drunk. I was with my friends and we listened to music at a very loud volume. Cool. But in the moment, it is an experience that you can't really erase. Think of, even if you want to talk about that, think about fucking vacation. I mean, the only thing you're doing is going to another place. It look different. It might be warm. Shit, you can have that. You can create that same vibe at home. Shit, turn some shit on the TV, put the motherfucking ocean sounds on. I mean, if you want to be real, but the experience is real. I'm done with the experience because I clubbed a lot. But like, if you think about it, like if you had a hard month of work or a hard week of work, and you just like, man, I want to go to the club, have fun, get some drinks, and you want to feel like you're somebody that you see on TV, right? You want to feel like you're somebody important, and people looking at you like, damn, he got all these bottles. Like, yeah, to some it might sound dumb, but to somebody that don't get out a lot, and to somebody who's thrilled by that, that means a lot. But that's why the clubs can do what they do. That's why the bottles cost so much. That's why the sections cost so much. That's why the club cost a lot to get in. You get what I'm saying? All these things matter because it's an experience. It's just like going to the strip club. You tipping this girl not because I don't know, you don't want to have sex or whatever. It's you tipping her because of the experience. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you
I
can't
definitely
overlook that.
agree. I can't overlook the experience, but what I can say is that we can learn to relegate experiences to time periods. The same way you mentioned vacations as an experience. You don't do a vacation once a month. You don't do a vacation every 2 weeks. You know, you schedule out your vacation. You know, you might do it once a year, and that doesn't mean that you can't go on excursions throughout the years that could be less expensive. You find that, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about, I tell people like this, I'm never going to be the one to tell you not to do stuff, but make sure that you're doing the other things in the interim period. So like, yo, if you telling me, my life insurance is paid up, I put my savings away like I'm supposed to, you know, I took care of all my bills, you know what I'm saying, and I have my budget of what I can spend on a monthly basis, as long as I'm keeping within that budget. So like, let's be honest, like right now, I have a weekly play budget of $200. That's how much money I can play with. So like every week I got 200. So now I can either only spend 200 a week, or I can not spend that 200 one week and then have 400 the second week, or I can not spend for 2 weeks and then have $600 3 weeks. So like, you know what I mean? I can save all that money for the whole month and go crazy in the club, you know, at the end of the month. But as long as I don't break my budget, we have to start thinking and operating from that space, and not just get caught up in the fact that I'm frustrated, I'm tired, and I want to enjoy my life. So, you know, normally I would save 1,000 a month or 500 a month and go, fuck that savings, I'm going to just go crazy. Like, nah, we have to move away from
That's
that.
a great point, Jay. But again, that's only in hindsight thinking, right? You had to go through some things, you had to learn
Yes,
it, right? But
as an old head, yeah.
even still though, like I'm only playing devil's advocate because I
No,
know a lot of
go ahead.
people are irresponsible, right? And honestly, it takes some type of discipline to be successful, but everybody not disciplined. But
Mm-hmm.
however, just like you said, you got $200 a week, right? That's your budget. Some people might have $1,000 a week. Some people might have $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might go to
Mm-hmm.
the club once a month and they blow it. So when we have these conversations, we gotta be careful of the line we draw because depending on who's listening, right? They could take
Mm-hmm.
it a different way because shit, your $200 could be somebody's $1,000, right? And shit, we talking
Mm-hmm.
about friends. We ain't in the land of niggas being rich. We live in the land of stunting. We live in the land of niggas smoking mirrors. We live in the land of everything ain't what it seemed to be. So let's think about it, right? Let's say your budget is $500, right? Let's cut the 1,000 in half. Your budget $500, but I got a couple more friends who budget $500 too, right? We all take $300. We go to the club, and now it look like something that is not. I mean, but I get what you're saying, so I don't want to take away from the point.
But you made a great point. All right, it goes back to something I said probably 30, 40 minutes ago, where I said your life should have a plan. And if your plan in your life is fuck bitches and get money, then you know what I'm saying, all right, cool, you keep into the plan. Right. I make the money, I fuck the bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? The bitches is all good. Like, right. If that's the plan, then all right, cool. And you not worried about the future, you ain't worried about the kids having nothing, all right, you know, that's what's up. But like if you are one of those people that are conscious of making sure, like, hey, I want to make sure that by this age, I want to have this in the bank. Hey, I want to be able to, you know, hey, I want to take care of my mom's when she gets older, or I want to make sure my kids have this to go to college with, or hey, like, let me tell you something that I'm so serious with myself about is that when I turn 65, when I stop working, I stopped working. Like, I'm not about to lift no hammers. I'm not about to be, you know, building nothing. I'm not about to, like, the most I want to do is maybe talk on a microphone, you know, talk trash and do a show, or that'd probably be the most amount of work I'm trying to do. But I'm really trying to relax come 65 and travel. So what does that mean? I have to have X amount of money in the bank. I want to live in a certain style of home. I have a plan to become the person that I want to become. So that means that I have to discipline myself. Now, the reason why the young people are not disciplined is because nobody was disciplining them and showing them, creating healthy habits so that they could enjoy their life, but at the same time manage. And that's something we're going to get into later on in the discussion. But
let's get into the show, man. We didn't took these niggas to school for long enough. Let's get into the show.
All right. So, I want to get into this Master P thing, right? You know what I'm saying? This is really where I want to go with it. Master P had a whole conversation. So pretty much for those people that don't know, all right, Master P got called out by his son. Lil Romeo went on social media and said, yo, you sit out here showing love to this person that died. I think it was like DJ Twitch or something. And yo, I've been going through it. You ripped me off for this money. Go ahead.
Nah. It wasn't like that, nigga. He was showing love to somebody that committed suicide.
Yeah. Master P was.
Right. And Lil Romeo felt that he cared about somebody else's feelings, and he was putting out a message of, you know, love yourself and self-care and things like that, when he had people who was close to him who was having similar thoughts, right, and going through similar things, and it was like he wasn't as emotional with them as he was portraying that he was to the world. I think something like that.
And then the whole thing that became a Little Romeo divulged that, hey, my dad's been using my money to pay his taxes. That was number one. Facts. The number two thing is I never received a check from Rap Snacks. Number three, he's saying that also that, yo, my father's whole life has been smoke and mirrors. He's been lying about all of these things. He's never really had any money. That was the fourth thing. So, Big Daddy P goes to his homeboy.
I don't know if you can call a grown man Big Daddy P. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, that was definitely inappropriate, and I apologize for that. But you know what I'm saying? Master P went on to his homeboy's podcast, and he straightened a few things out. Like, now, I want to talk about this because all right, look, I have a father that owns his own business. I've had to deal with both sides. I've had my own business, and I've hired family members and friends to come work with me to do certain things, and I've had discrepancies, and I've been the person that's had discrepancies. So I've been on both sides of this conversation, and it's a lot to this. So I want to play a little bit of this clip while J Hill is shaking his head at me like, oh, why the hell I'm doing this? But no, I kind of want to get into this. So let's go.
Play it.
Yeah. This because we're gonna take this step by step. I'm not going over. I don't want to overdo it. So let's talk about this. He brought an example to bear. He said if Tyler Perry hires somebody to act in the film, how much do they get paid? They said the average person makes $62,000 a year to act in Tyler Perry films. So what he's saying is, hey, if I create a platform, i.e., if I create No Limit Records. And I tell you, you're going to get X amount of money off of those records. That's what it is. If I put you on a television show and you get 5,000 an episode, 15,000 an episode, that's what you get, right?
Right.
So if he is an executive producer, or say if he decides, so let's just say I got to hook up too. Master P fronted all of the money, and he paid Little Romeo to play a part, whatever amount of money there was. If I got to hook up too made $10 million and Romeo only made 500,000, how is Little Romeo getting ripped off? You got paid to do a job. You didn't come in. You didn't invest no money. You're not the executive producer. You're supposed to get a salary. That's what you get. So
Right.
how is that ripping? How is that you being ripped off? And we're not even talking about the rap snacks thing yet. We're just talking about basic math. So how do you feel about this? Because I want you to be in on this.
I mean, I feel like it depends what time. One, I can understand Romeo feeling away, I guess, because that's his pops. He might feel like, damn, show me some love. But that's what's wrong with the most of the world nowadays. Niggas are always expecting a fucking handout. Niggas always got expectations of some shit. Like, it ain't your money. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I made the money and I decide to give it to you, take the fucking money. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, stop complaining. A lot of niggas be complaining. They be crying. A lot of niggas be bitches. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, but whatever. I just feel like niggas be complaining way too much. You feel me? Like, bro, he got some situations that he made money for and he cut you in because you his son. You feel me? Get your own motion. Bro, get your own motion. You feel me? Like, for you to come back and try to put up back on the fucking internet, but I ain't go into all that. Go ahead, bro. What do you think?
All right. So I'm just trying to make sure we all on the same page, because I don't want nobody to be. Yes,
Before
sir.
you play it, are you getting a like a double sound when it play? Like, I'm hearing like.
Oh,
like
you know
echo.
what? I am not, but I know exactly what the problem is, and I just fixed it. All right. Thank you for telling me.
No
Your
problem.
mind, dog.
That's right.
So think about it. I'm a billionaire. I'm on my way to it.
About background, they're using Ariana Grande as an example of how much money you can make in a Nickelodeon show. She was one of the highest paid people on Nickelodeon. So was Little Romeo. So she got paid $9,000 an episode. He walking the dog right now. The term walking the dog meaning he's slow walking us to make a point so that he could drop the load. He could drop the bigger point on us down the road. I know y'all be like, why is he talking about all this? Why does anybody even care? But we about to get into that in a second. He's slowly explaining stuff and unrolling everything at the same time. Go ahead, Master P. Let me bring this back. We're gonna break this down. You know what I mean? Because they starting to bore me. At the end of the day, what he's saying is Romeo made. Let's talk about the whole thing. Through the course of 3 to 4 years, he made $500,000. Let's just say he made $500,000. Of that
which he
$500,000,
didn't though, because
which he didn't.
Ariana
He didn't
Grande
make
was the
as much.
highest paid, and she made $9,000.
Exactly. He really said, but he tried to cover. Once again, he's still covering for his son. He said Romeo made $5,000 an episode.
Right.
So $5,000 times 52 episodes, maybe 200,000, 250,000 dollars. I mean, throughout the course of that whole thing, he's got millions of dollars worth of taxes. Your only take home pay might have came down to 150, maybe. 120,000, take home pay after taxes. You know what I mean? That's how much.
4 years.
How are you going to pay his taxes? And he's got millions of dollars that he owed probably from the record label from the time period when he was spending money like water trying to get all of those records to pop. So like, once again, not trying to sit here and take sides. Let me tell you, as a son that works for a father, like there are times when you have been promised certain things where, your pops might have promised you, you're going to be owning a business with me. Like, I'm going to set you up, you're going to get this and you're going to get that. And you go, all right, yeah, cool. And you keep your head down and you work. Sometimes those things don't come through. Sometimes that parent might forget they even had that conversation with you because you have ups and you have down moments. You have times when your parent is amped up and they want to they want to spread that love to you, but they may not have done a calculation on whether or not that could actually happen for you. You know, they might have made a promise, but or they might have made a promise and had good intentions on doing it, and then a situation didn't work out. So now the money that you thought you had, then you don't have anymore. So like, and am I trying to say that P is right for what he did, or that my parent was right or wrong for what they did? Like, that's not the issue. The thing is that when you start getting older, you learn how to take a step back and you look at the full picture and not just a picture that's is sitting in front of you. If you watch the rest of that clip, and there's another clip, P goes into detail about how much he spent on his entire family, how much he invested into his son, how little Romeo, and this is the thing that I've been saying for 2 decades. Romeo was never popping, bro. He had one gold album, and he might have had maybe one single that might have screeched past platinum. He was never that popping. So for people to assume that he's some big money balling dude, you get out of here, bro. Come on. And he was a baby. He wasn't writing them rhymes. He wasn't making them beats. Like, he was like a little performer. So like, come on. Like, let's get real. Let's get real. Like that's not like, this is just insane how we are so quick to break our own people down without looking at the whole situation. First of all, their discussion ain't none of our business. We shouldn't even be talking about it. Let's be real. The father-son dynamic, you should never even speak on it. Like, none of us. I don't care how much they put out in public. We just need to say, hey, they going through something and they need to deal with it. The number 2 part is that in the business world, it's not like the regular work world. What Jay Hill's problems are every day is nothing like what you guys that have a regular job, or Master P is not like having a regular job. They have to pay their own taxes. They have to pay for their own expenses. They have to make sure that everything that they have, if they don't have something, they got to make it happen, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gets into a whole discussion about Rap Snacks. He was talking about he was like 5, 6, 7 years. They wasn't making no money at Rap Snacks. They was dumping more money than they was making. He was like, man, they just started making money on Rap Snacks within the last couple of years. And let's be real. If y'all really think about it, y'all disgusting black folk that keep acting like y'all don't remember the past. When Rap Snacks first came out, y'all was clowning Rap Snacks. This corny, bro. I remember the older generation hating on Rap Snacks, and it wasn't until the young kids started growing up and then the younger rappers started coming into the game. Think about it. Rap Snacks ain't get hot until like the Migos got in there. Like, I don't even know how they got the Migos to sign on and get them chipped. Like, but once they got into it, it took off. You know what I mean? And went into a different record and into a different direction to where they were actually generating enough sales to where they could break a profit. Now you see them pivoting from Rap Snacks to now they got Snoop Dogg got his own pancake mix, and they got their own syrups and this and that and the third. So like, let me shut up, and Jay Hill, please give me your perspective. Give me your perspective, because you're a business owner too. So like, you know what I mean? I'm wondering if this hits you different. Are you thinking about your daughter going, I wonder, am I gonna get into it with her over? Like, how are you thinking about this?
Honestly, bro, I ain't even. Like I said, I looked at it and I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, damn, that's unfortunate. But like, maybe because I really ain't cared too much about Romeo. I never was a Romeo fan. So when I seen it, I just was like, damn, honestly, bro, like, I don't think I'm about to get into it with my daughter about nothing. Like, nah, this doesn't even pierce my interest, if that makes sense. This is like, okay, Romeo and Master P going at it over some dumb shit. You feel me? Like, I don't know.
But as a father that has a business that, encompasses more than just his home space, but an outside space, does your daughter even have conversation about your show and what you do? Does she ask questions? Like, how do y'all have any interactions pertaining to that?
No, not really. We talk about it probably like once in a blue, like, but that's if I'm talking about it, like I'm talking about something I'm frustrated about, but we don't really talk about it at all.
So does she show any kind of entrepreneurial spirit? You know what I mean? Is she do you see any influence, like any of your influence going into her, like her being kind of tenacious about building something of her own?
Not really, honestly, man. She's still just trying to have fun and dance and things like that, right? I see influence of like just how I speak and the things I say, but not really about my work. You know what I'm saying? Like, she said she wanted to pick up the camera and start taking pictures, but she's still young, so she's still trying to figure it out. She'll pick up the camera, then put it down. You feel me? Like she's had spurts of doing things. She was selling like earrings and things like that, necklaces. I said earrings, but like she was selling necklaces, and then like that was like came and went, and then she started picking up the camera that came and went. It was a time where she was like editing her stuff that came and went. She wanted to vlog that really come and go. So because a lot of these things is hard, right? Like a lot of these things, I don't think people understand. So she might see it and think, oh, that's dope. But then she understand that it's hard work that go behind it, right? And she's still a teenager. She just turned 13. So it's like she's not trying to take on extra responsibility. She already got to dance like every damn day. You know what I'm saying? She got school. So her life is already built in a schedule where it seems like it just works. So when she has free time, the last thing she's trying to do is add more work to it. She's trying to have as much fun as she can, if that makes sense. So like,
it makes complete sense. I definitely feel that. So what would you say to somebody? Sorry, my bad. My question comes down to like when you see people getting involved, or if you have like a close friend or a family member that wants to get involved with you, what's your first thought process, and what do you tell them? If somebody comes in like, yo, Jay, bro, I'm getting into this podcast game, let's go. What are you telling them? What are your responses out the gate?
What, they just saying like, I'm getting to the podcast game, let's go?
They getting into the podcast game, and they want you to put them on. Like, yo, put me on, bro. Podcast game, let's go. Y'all know I talk shit. Y'all know we can go.
I can't put nobody on. I just say, all right, bet, do your thing. Like my friend, one of my line brothers was saying like he wanted to start doing a podcast. He told me that like a couple years ago. He probably don't even know I remember this. I ain't seen nothing since. You know what I'm saying? He had a whole setup, he had the lights and everything, but it's like, okay, where is that? You feel me? So it's like, I don't really, I'm probably like the worst when it comes to support, because you gotta show me something. You got, even when people come to me like, yo, I want you to be on my show, or I want you to put my show on your network. It's like, bro, I need to see at least 50 episodes, at least. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like people talk what they want to do all the time, but nobody do it, right? So it's like, I ain't really trying to hear what you about to do, what you trying to do. I hear that shit all the time. So like, show me what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So like, even like when somebody come with advice, I give them some advice to how to start. But even that, it's like, bro, get started. A young lady hit me the other day in my DM like, yo, I'm trying to start a podcast. I want to be on this and this and this and this. Do you have any advice? I'm like, yo, honestly, if I was you, I would get I would use my phone. I would get some lavalier mics off the Amazon. All this stuff is cheap. So that way, if you start and you decide to change your mind, you ain't spend a lot of money into this. You feel me? Because if you're really serious about it, you're going to start with whatever you got, and you're going to make that the best you got. You feel me? A lot of times people see people's progress and they want to meet them at their progress when you got to go through the process. It don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, damn, and that was a bar. I never even said that before, but people see my progress and they want to come in, right, where I'm at in my process, right? They want to come in where they see my progress at, right? But there's a process to it. You got to go through that. You got to go through that to get to where I'm at. You feel me? So it's like a lot of times people see, oh my God, this shit look good. This shit look good. But now was a time when it didn't look good. Right? You wasn't there. What Drake said or Ross said, you wasn't there with me shooting in the gym. And that's okay. I seen a tweet on Instagram and it said people only want to support you when it's popular to support you. My response to that is I'm okay with that. I'm cool because I'm with it. I'm cool. That support me when it's popular because it's gonna get popular real soon. Give me a second. You feel me? So a lot of times people they come in when it's hot because that's when everybody posting the shit. That's when everybody reposting it. That's when everybody saying something about it. That's when everybody talking. It's getting seen and picked up everywhere. So niggas got something to say. Nah, but when nobody ain't see it, when we had 7 views on this motherfucking YouTube page, niggas ain't see it. But they gonna see it when it's at 100,000, right? But by the time then I built it, I learned a couple things, I done got some money, I done seen what worked, I done seen what didn't work. I see that I'm invested. So I'm gonna go and get the best shit I can get because I know I need this, and that. You feel me? Like, but you gotta start. A lot of niggas got everything to say, but nothing to do. It's just like, bro, do it. It just is what it is. I don't know. I get this the shit I get passionate about because like niggas.
Nah, like I'm loving that. That's what I'm saying. I want you to talk. I mean, that's why I threw the question at you.
Nah,
you know
like,
what I'm saying? And I feel like I feel like the young generation, I feel like don't understand how serious what you saying is. I shouldn't pay attention to you until you show me something. Some kids will see you not responding to them and go, well, damn, yo, he ain't trying to support me. He's like, no, you got to show me that you got to give me something that I can support. You know what I'm saying? Ideas an idea. They come and go. I get ideas every 5 seconds. But like, show me that you're willing to put the work in. Show me that you're willing to sacrifice. Show me that you're willing to lose something. Show me that you're willing to put aside all of the other things that you got going on and make this the priority. Show me that you are willing to put the same effort into it that I can put into it. Because the only reason why you coming to me is because I already shown you that I'm invested. I've shown you that I've sacrificed. I've shown you that I'm willing to put in. The reason why you coming to talk to me is because you've seen the fruit of my labor. And you want to try to bear fruit in my garden. You want to plant a seed in my garden. You see that my soil is fertile, and you want to grow a tree off of mine, which is cool. Nobody's beefing with that. But that means once you put the seed in the ground, you still got to water it. You still got to make sure it's got sunshine. As it grows, you still got to trim it. You know what I'm saying? Any of my garden people, they gonna understand that concept. But like, yo, what you saying is on top of that, 100% facts.
On top of that, like, honestly, bro, and it might sound selfish, but what do you have to offer me, right? Everybody talk about, I had to learn this. I learned this a little late. It was like a couple years ago. Like, we look for mentors and mentorships and things like that, but like, we coming at it all wrong. Like, you're looking for a mentor to see what they can do for you, how they can help you. No, you got the game fucked up. What can you do for the mentor, right? I just learned this. I had to learn this. Like, bro, like, you want a mentor? How can you add value to that mentor, right? Everybody always come in with their hands out. Like, you come in with your hand out, I'm gonna look at you like a peasant. You come in with your hand out, I'm gonna look at you like you outside panhandling. And I drive past most of them people because I think they lying. Just to be honest. You feel me? Some people gonna hate me for that, but it is what it is. I feel like, bro, don't come at me with your hand out. Come at me, offer me something, because that's how I come to that's how I got blessed. I'm not gonna lie, right? When I went to the companies I was working at, I had an opportunity and I make the most out of it, right? I got this young dude that came and helped me, and he helping me. He like, bro, I just want to be that help. But guess what he started doing? After every interview, he got his phone. He got his own little segment. After the interview was done, after he did everything he had to do, every obligation he had to do for me, then after the interview, he do a drip check. You feel me? With every guest. But guess what? Now people going to look at him like he's doing something special because he's getting guests. But he's getting guests because he's giving value to somebody, right? I told people at the podcast webinar seminar or whatever, I'm like, bro, one thing about me, I come in being I'm a servant leader, right? Like, what can, like, bro, I'm just somebody that want to help you, right? Because I understand that me helping you, I'm gonna get mine. I told shout to Shans, right? David Shans, I came to him, I said, yo, bro, how can I make you a billionaire? Because if I make you a billionaire, I know damn for sure I can get at least 1 million. And 1 million gonna start me on. It's gonna start my process down the way, because I'm gonna turn the 1 million into 10 million into a billion. You feel me? Exactly. So I said, yo, you might be closer to a billion than I am to a million. How can I get you there?
Right.
Let me get you there.
Yeah. And the other part people flip on and don't understand is, like, internships and mentorship. People keep thinking it's about somebody giving them money, and it's like, yo, access is valuable. You just being around a person that's making it happen is valuable. If Jay Hill allows you to just sit in the area, and I know people thinking this shit is crazy, but it's true. Just being able to sit around somebody and see them work, you can learn from that. See how they talk to their customers. You can learn from that. Yo, when you get to make connections, you can meet other people. That's something you can get a benefit from. You might meet a cameraman. You might meet the sound guy. You're going to meet the producer. You're going to meet the other talent. You're going to meet celebrities. And you know what? You can start building relationships with them to where now you can be incepted into a world that you're not familiar with. Like, and you got to understand, yo, the entertainment industry is invite only. Understand me? It's invite only. You have to be invited in.
It's not even just the entertainment industry. The industry of niggas getting to it is invite only. That's money.
Facts. There we go.
If you get money, if you get anything that niggas think is popular, that's invite only. I had a conversation with Nehemiah Davis the other day, right? And we were talking about mentorships. And I asked the question that a lot of people want to know, right? About, some people feel like mentorships is a scam. And why should we do it? And he said exactly what you said. It's about who you can place yourself around, right? So if I pay for a mentorship that I can afford, right? I'm not, forget the person that owns the mentorship, right? I'm now getting into a room with 10, 100, 50, 100 of other people who's hungry just like me. Guess what? I'm in the same room who people paid that money just like I paid my money. So now I can network, like Issa Rae said not too long ago, across, right? Forget the person that owned it. I'm talking to the people in there because now we can connect with each other, make money. Same with whatever. Like when I told you about my intern, he came in and now he can network with the people that I'm talking to because he's adding value to me. It's just like it just is what it is. I think the only thing is you got to find the spaces that are important to you and that's worth it to you and something that you can afford. A lot of times niggas hear mentorships and they looking at the mentorships that's not in their budget. That's not the one you should be looking at. Because if
you just dropped some
like,
real knowledge. Hold up.
Like it's like, bro, you looking at an internship that costs $10,000 and you only got $10,000 in the bank, right? So you spend your whole $10,000 in the bank thinking it's about to save your life, and it don't do what you think it's going to do. But anybody with money that invests money, they'll tell you that the money that they invest in, it's a chance that they can lose it. Right, so why would you invest everything in your bank account so you can go broke and now you on your ass, you looking stupid? You feel me? So it's like you gotta do things that make sense for you, bro. And like I don't know, you gotta find more.
And let's if we reverse engineer everything you just said, before we get into investment conversation, I feel like people that don't make a lot of money get hung up on, I don't have money to invest. But you do. It's not about money right now. You have time to invest. So what you need to do is you need to sacrifice the time and money you spend on smoking weed, drinking, and partying. That's the time you need to sacrifice. Sacrifice all of that, meaning that get rid of it. And then get a second job. Get a third job. Find a hustle. Let me tell you something. My nephew right now, 26 years old. He has 3 jobs. He works full time at McCormick's. He got his degree cutting hair, but was cutting hair the whole time getting money. And then a third gig he got working part time at a hospital. Guess what he do? He take all of the money he make from all of that, and then he went and bought new equipment. Then he went, and now he's in the process of buying a building to have his barbershop in. So he's not taking the money. I mean, now don't get it twisted. Now he going out drinking and partying and taking trips. But understand, 3 jobs, 3 incomes. So, and he has no children, and he has no other overhead outside of his rent and his car. Like, sacrifice that time to build the money up so you could do what? Buy a building so you can make more money. That's what you have.
And that's what I was going to go into it. What you were saying, right, bro? If you smoke and you drink, that's cool, bro. If that's your advice, you do gotta. Like, bro, we men, and I know it might be some women listening to this, but like, it just is what it is. Like, we men, bro. So at the end of the day, you gotta sacrifice something. I know it's some shit going out there in the world saying like you shouldn't have to sacrifice nothing to be happy. That's what you believe.
That's a lie.
For you. Listen, I ain't even gonna say it's a lie. If that's what you believe, God bless you. I'm saying for me, I know you. If you want to do what you want to do, right, and you want to live a life that you've never lived before, you're gonna have to sacrifice something because it's never gonna be given to us. So all that to say, if you smoke, right, and you drink, all power to you. But guess what? You gotta see what do you enjoy more, smoking or X, Y, and Z? And if it's smoking, you gotta cut out X, Y, and Z so you can make more money, or so you can have more time, so you can have time to smoke and do something else. That's gonna help you, beneficial. That is what it is.
I agree with what you're saying and all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, smoking and drinking is recreational.
Yeah. And
if you're talking about being a business, we're talking about the conversation of building success, building financial, by building financial freedom. That's work. That's hustle. That's time commitment. You don't have time for leisure when it's work time. It's just like going to the job. I tell people all the time, like, you getting high to go to work doesn't make sense, bro. Like, you're supposed to be getting in to this job so that you can get up as far as you can. Your 8 hours every day should be about what can I do to maximize my appearance, my education, and my impact so that I can increase income. I feel like we be so worried about I feel like so many people come to the job hating the job out the gate instead of understanding this is an opportunity for you to get more money. step in the door every day looking for an opportunity how I can flip this job on its head so I can do what I want to do. Let me give you guys a prime example. And I only try, and if y'all notice me, what y'all gonna learn if y'all keep watching the show, everything I tell you about I have personal experiences with. I don't talk about stuff that I don't know nothing about. Every job I've ever had, I quit when I want, I leave, and I come and I go when I want. But let me tell you something. In return for that leisure, I work 12 hours a day. I'll work weekends. I will work back to back. I will cover people's shifts. Yo, I come, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, whatever I could do to help. If I make a mistake, I stand on my mistake. Oh, hey, I made a mistake. I apologize. This is my fault. I will do better. I will do my job better. I will try to do better. Like, yo, I'm willing to learn. If somebody says, Jay, are you willing to figure this computer thing out? Hey, I don't know how to do it now, but just give me some time so I can figure it out. Like, you want to know why? Because when I tell people I'm leaving, and let me tell you something, I'd say that when I get hired. Hey, let me tell you something. If you need me for anything, I'm here. If you need me to take a risk on something, I'm here. If you need me to cover a shift, I'm here. However, let me tell you this. If I need to go, I gotta go. If I need to take time off, I gotta take time off. And if that's a problem for you, that's your problem to figure out. Because I'm going to leave regardless. But while I'm here, I'm going to give you 110% of myself. And that's just something that you got to respect. And when you come in with that attitude and not just talk about it, but you do it, people respect you. I've never had any job. I've never had that problem.
It's crazy, but you got to have because I was going to say this. That's what I was kind of saying about the weed thing. It's like, yo, you can do what you want, but you got to sacrifice something, right? So like my thing is, right, because I was the same way. I joke about this, like all my jobs I ever had, I never gave a fuck about. But my mentality of not giving a fuck about it made me the best employee. And I'll tell you what I mean, right? So I worked at this children camp, like a foster home. It was like a bunch of homes when we had badass kids, right? I was staff on that while I staffed the kids, but I didn't care enough about the job to let them get on my nerves. I had a purpose and I knew my purpose. My purpose was to take this money that I'm making and put it into my business so I can fund my business because I love my business, right? So when kids acted out, I was the one that went to work when people called out. I was the one that took extra shifts. I was the one that did everything that nobody wanted to do. When a kid had to have a one-on-one, a one-on-one is something that like you gotta be with the kid. It's like a kid that might be nobody want to deal with, and they got to have a one-on-one. I mean, you got to be the kid's shadow, right? Nobody wanted to do that. So they would always ask me because, bro, I don't care. Like, it's like, bro, y'all not about to get me out of my character for me to do something crazy to get locked up or lose my job because I don't care about this job that much to let it get on my nerves. So although it might sound crazy, but that was my motivation. It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about this job. Like, and it's like, it's crazy because they would think I was the best employee because they thought oh my God, he loved the kids so much. And I mean, I know I might can't, the internet is sensitive nowadays, but fuck it. Fuck them kids. I ain't give a fuck about that shit either. I was there. I had a purpose. Like I had a purpose. I had a mission, and nobody, like, bro, nobody was going to knock me out of my purpose. Nobody's going to knock me off my purpose. Nobody's going to get me, bro. Where I'm going, nobody's going to stop that regardless. No fucking kid, no institution, no parent, no advisor, nobody, period. So I'm like, yo, I know I gotta go to this job to get this money so I can get a camera. I gotta go to this job to get this money so I can get some mics. And I did that. You feel me? So whatever it came with, because guess what? Like you said, when I needed to go, I'm out of there. I made sure I was a on-call employee. So technically, right, I ain't have to go until I was on call, but I went every single day. Right, I made sure I was covering people. I did the morning shifts nobody wanted to do. I was hosting the club. Bro, niggas would think I was crazy. I'm getting out the club at 3-4 in the morning, going to work at 6 o'clock. Literally. Niggas think I'm crazy because it's like I need to get off by 2 so I can have my interviews. So I can meet, you feel me? Like, but niggas don't want to, niggas be lazy. Niggas don't want to sacrifice. Now niggas think everything's supposed to come to them. Like,
that's a fact. So like real quick, I want to make sure we shouting people out, and I apologize. We got so engrappled in our conversation, and I wasn't acknowledging people. So yo, shout out to Andre Robinson. Shout out to Capisha. I hope I apologize, babe, if I don't want to mess up your name, but it's I think it's Capisha. Aquarius MC and Bean Boom Dada. Yo, Bean Boom Dada said no lies told. Andre Robinson said I went to a boot camp that provided mentorship I was looking for. Yo, as a question, Andre, what industry were you getting mentorship in? I'm just asking. And then I think Aquarius was talking about, I heard about this I think he was talking about the Master P thing. You know what I'm saying? Abby Desire, shout out to you. She just gave us exclamation points. You know, how you doing? Appreciate you for tapping in with us. Yo, let's pivot to the main topic for tonight, and then we can get up out of here. I was going to talk about Chrisean Rock, but matter of fact, we can get into it real quick. It was only, the clip was like a minute long, but I'm gonna say this, and then we gonna pivot. The one thing I wanted to say about this Chrisean Rock thing is, yo, my people, y'all, and everybody, I don't care if you black, white, orange, green, as human beings, we have to start deprogramming ourselves from being entertained by somebody who's getting, I'm watching Chrisean Rock literally get screwed up every day. Like, the things that I see her react to, the way she's reacting to this reality show and all of the stuff that's happening around her, you are literally seeing a young girl get her life fucked up completely. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't know which way is up. She doesn't know reality from fiction. And she's so enamored by Blueface, and she's so enamored by this life that she is literally sacrificing everything that she's gonna I'm talking about, she's sacrificing her humanity, she's sacrificing her sanity, she's sacrificing her ability to recognize real relationships from fake relationships, that it's gonna cost her, and you're gonna see her spiral out of control in such a crazy way. I hope and pray that you guys we can all learn to not be entertained by this and recognize that that young lady needs help. Like, we need to help her. She needs therapy now. You know what I'm saying? And like we've got to move away from looking at that as just something fun and funny and cool to look at. I was almost in tears. I saw this scene that it was just like really warped and weird. Like, they did like they were doing a fake marriage in a leather store. Like, the owner of some leather jacket store was like trying to officiate a fake wedding, and she starts crying like it's real. And I'm like, that's a problem. So anyway, we're moving right along. Go ahead.
I think Chrisean Rock know what she's doing. Honestly, I watched. I didn't watch it, but I heard my girl was talking about the interview she had with Know For Sure with B Simone, and it sounds like she's very intuitive. She sounds like she knows exactly what she's doing, and she got a plan. You know what I'm saying? She's very like spiritual and God fearing. So I think she knows. Yeah, I hope so.
I pray for her every day, man. Like, I hope you guys are getting out here. If this is really just entertainment, God bless you. You know what I'm saying, and that's what's up. But if there's any hint of this being real life, yo, I'm really super worried about it. But thank you for giving me that information, because I was super worried about her. So Andre Robinson said he went to a boot camp about mentorship for web development. So Andre, did that really help? So did the boot camp help you? Was that a positive, or was it something that you kind of shied away from? Just go ahead and give me that information once you get a chance. So the topic for today is your child is your business. Your child and your business are the same. So I have a bunch of little parallels I want to bring into the play, but the reason why I made this the topic is because something that I learned over the last decade of me building the radio station that I built was your business is literally a child. It requires money, it requires time and effort, it requires your constant attention, and it has a tendency to take on the mindset that you have. It takes on your fears, it takes on your traumas. Your business grows and develops based upon how much you invest in it, how much you love it. Every term that I'm using like are real literal things. So like when you are starting a business or you're thinking about starting a business, understand that the responsibility, the stress, and all of the things that go into birthing a child and raising a child, the same thing you deal with a business. you birth a child from an idea. You know what I'm saying? You might see a girl, y'all thought about something, shorty get pregnant, and you start conceptualizing what it would be like to have a miniature version of yourself. And then, God willing, this business comes to fruition. The child comes to fruition. Now, if you don't invest money into your child, what happens? Your child gets sick. You ain't putting no diapers on him. You ain't wiping his butt. He or she, you're not feeding that child. That child becomes malnourished. The child passes away. The same amount, and almost the same amount of money that you invest in a child, you need to invest in a business, probably more. So when I tell people, it's when us as grown folks, so like I'm 40, I don't have a child, but because I've always been very intentional about major decisions like that. That is a very life-changing thing, in my opinion. However, when I think about, and I've read articles and I've had conversations with people, and they talking about having a child, the people that have the most successful children are the parents that have plans, are the parents that do research, are the parents that are intentional about what they say to their children, what they put into their children, the environment that they put their children around. Imagine if you were to take the same intention with your business. Let me take a couple of steps back. What do you put into your business? And it's all about what kind of products are you developing? Why does that business exist? What service does it, what purpose does it serve? Is it a purpose-driven business, or is it just something to organize and encapsulate something that's already working? So meaning you could build a business for the purpose of I want to fix drinking water in Eastside Baltimore because some pipes burst and now people are getting, so I started a business, I got investment money, and this business is for that. Or hey, I'm a personality, I'm blowing up, I built the business around me as a personality, and I'm growing a brand, etc., etc. Businesses have lots of different purposes, and they can do a million different things. However, the purpose of the business helps you determine what goes into the business, what to spend on it. Where should the business be located? Should it be in the city? Should it be in the county? Does it require a warehouse? Does it require an office space? Does it require this? Does it require that? The parallels are so similar, and how the decisions you make have direct effects on the growth and development of that business. All right. So, Jay, let me throw a question at you. So, when you decided to transition from being just somebody that's doing videos to somebody that wanted to have a business, why did you choose why did you choose the studio space that you chose for your recording process? Because I really feel like your space is excellent. I think you really made a really great choice in that space. But let me shut up and let you answer.
I chose the space because it was something that I felt like I needed. I have a family, right? If I was by myself, I probably wouldn't have that space. I probably would do it out of my apartment because I could take more risk as a single man, right? As a family, I can't have a lot of people in and out and know where I live at, right? That's one. Two, I was fortunate enough to be blessed with a space similar for free, and I saw how much having a home, right, a home base, how beneficial it was to me, because I didn't have to carry my stuff everywhere. That's very annoying, right? Having to carry my camera, set up, break down, take it home. Just the transportation itself was just annoying, right? So understanding how beneficial it was just to have a place where all my stuff can sit up, right? So if somebody want to do an interview, we can literally go whenever. We can go right now. We can go tomorrow morning. We can go whenever, because my stuff is already right there. Is already set up. The place that I have also made sense because we talking about money, right? We talking about how much money do you have? How much money you gonna kick out? Me, I'm still on an up and up, right? So like I don't have a lot of money. So like it's something that I had to force myself to afford, because I don't want to say I couldn't afford, but it was something that I didn't want to afford, but I made it make sense. What that means is, okay, what are some of the perks outside of just the space that I have, right? Okay, I'm looking at it like it's a shared workspace. So most of the people there are corporate, so they work from 9 to 5 for the most part, right? So what that means, I can have other places to record outside of my small office, right? that makes it make more sense to me. Okay, now how I look at it is, instead of one office, I got like 4 or 5 setups if I want to, right? These things all make sense, and now all my stuff is stored in my office instead of being in my house all over the place, right? It's so many things that go into this, and then also it look professional, right? People come, they think they take me more serious because they say, oh, this is nice, you got this set up, this is you. Like, all of these things matters. It's about the experience. We talked about this earlier, right? The customer experience. The people I'm interviewing are customers. So when they come, how they feel in the environment all matters. When I'm talking to them, are they going to open up? Are they going to give me the stories that they might not want to give me? Are they going to feel comfortable? All this matters with the environment. So when they come in, oh shit, this look professional. This shit look like the real deal. Yeah, because it is the real deal. So all of that, like, everything plays a part into why I got the space I got.
I love that you ended with that. People seeing things changes their perception about the business. Like, before they probably saw the space, they were thinking, man, this dude just be making videos and da da da. But then when you see somebody have an office space, and then you see all of the equipment, your brain shifts unconsciously from this just being some videos to this is a business. Because like, we can see YouTube videos on a page, but we don't equate that to the business that goes behind it. Like, people wouldn't understand that you have a team of people that edit footage, that create clips, that post clips, and that like, people don't think about that. They just assume that you just sit at home all day, editing clips and putting stuff out, which is not necessarily away from the truth, because that's actually true. But it's hard for you to keep the productivity level that you keep without having it. But it's essential as you birthing a child and growing a child. The same way you lectured me about making sure that my appearance is a certain way, your business appearance has to be a certain way. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Finish it.
The last part I was gonna say is, even when it comes down to people wanting to invest, people wanting to bring in the elements needed for the growth of that child, creating spaces for that child to grow, creating an incubator so that it could be everything it needs to be, all become essential things. And we all have to think about that. And the reason why I keep putting the child concept in is because I'm trying to give people an idea of, like, a lot more people have children than have businesses. So when you kind of put the concept of a child on a person and the level of responsibility it comes, because think about it, you take your business way more seriously now that you have an office, because that bill got to get paid every month. They ain't gonna let you keep that equipment in there if you don't kick out that bread. So, like, you gotta make sure you on your game. The same way when that baby come out of the vagina, baby, that's a bill, man, and that's gotta get paid. That baby gotta eat. That baby butt gotta get wiped. That child has to be taken care of. Schooling is gonna come up. Clothes is gonna come up. Sickness, health, all these type of things. So, as having a business, these things become reality. And the more work you put in, and the more you invest and you put things together, the more that dream it becomes real, and then it becomes incumbent for you to gear your mind up, to change your perspective about your business so that you can continue to give it what it needs to grow. So were you about to say something?
I was going to say, I want to be careful of comparing a business to a child.
Oh, let's do that.
I understand where you're going by that, right?
Challenge me.
And I get it. And I think it's similar for sure. But I don't think we're going to convince what they say. The people that get it. And the people that don't, right? It's a lot of, like you said, it's more people with children than businesses. So people with children might not understand that, because they like, this is a human being. It can never be compared to the same, right? I do think that there are some similarities, a lot of them, right? So my girl, she said, my bad. My girl was like, yo, one thing about parenthood is no blueprint to this shit, right? It's like you in a hospital, you deliver the baby, and they just send you home and say, congratulations, right? They don't really give you no blueprint, so you don't know what you're doing. You have to learn things step by step as things go wrong. The same with the business.
Thank you. The same with a business. You go in there, you fill the paperwork out, and they say, congratulations, you got a business. They can give you the paperwork, and you walk out of the building. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Right. No, so I understand. It's just because it's a human being, So I can see how some people would have a hard time fathoming that it's the same, right?
Let
But
me
what I
tell
will,
you how much more the same it is. You have to get a social security number for that baby. You got to get a social security number for that business.
for
Yo,
sure.
the same way you're responsible for that child and it's and how it conducts itself. The same way you are responsible for your business and how the business conducts itself.
That's a fact.
There's nothing you can tell me that you do for a child or that is important to a child that is not important to a business.
Now that's a fact, but we
But
gotta
go
be
ahead, I'm
careful.
listening.
We gotta be
Okay.
careful because it's about what are you willing to risk, right? And is it worth it in the end? Because if you do have to put a lot of time into your business, but you also got to put a lot of time into your kids. And when you where you don't put in,
Talk to him.
it will lag, right? Whether it's
Talk
your
to him.
child or your business. So
Talk to him.
you're gonna put X amount of time into your business, but lose something with your family. Are you willing to risk that? Are you willing to are,
I'm listening.
are you willing to risk your daughter, your son not loving you as much as you want them because they don't understand, right? Because you can have a child who understand that you had to put a lot of time and work in to help the family, flourish, but they don't know, they don't understand it. They aren't old enough to even to process that yet, right? So they might grow up and they might start to resent you. Is it worth that? Are you willing to risk that?
So this is very important discussion, and I love that you brought that to bear. The same way, if you have multiple children, your time is still limited no matter how many children you have. It's all about, the thing is passion and energy that you put into it. Thank you, SCOE. I apologize, I can't pronounce your name, but thank you for saying that because it's the same thing. The thing is the passion that you put and the energy you put into it. First of all, every child understands that they're not going to get 24 hours a day. They're not. That's not happening. But as long as you are building the relationship properly and you are cultivating healthy habits within yourself and your children, then what will happen is they will not require or even want your attention as much. As your children get older, they require less and less of you. They require less of your time and more of your knowledge and approval. So, like, as children get older, they're going to move farther and further away from you. They become a kid, they're going to run around the room. When they become a little bit older, they're going to leave. They're going to leave the room and be on the other side of the house. And then they're going to leave the house and then they be in the neighborhood. And from the neighborhood, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to hear your voice. That doesn't mean that they don't need to, run things by you. And we're talking about purely healthy relationships, meaning that when they were a baby, you spent time with them, that you hugged them, you kissed them, you know what I'm saying, you made sure that they knew your face and that you spent time with them. And then as they get older, yes, there are going to be points and times that you spend, but it does not require all day every day. But it is important that you invest the time.
Yes.
The same thing with the business. If it's grown healthily, then it won't require as much of your time, and making sure that you have people there to tend to the business the same way you have you create a community to tend to the child. Go.
Now that's the thing, though. I think that's what we differentiate, right? Because what you're saying is correct, but not can that happen? I feel like a lot of times that don't happen because, again, we don't know no better. We aren't taught what healthy is. So how the fuck I'm gonna give something healthy to anybody?
Ooh,
So
all right, I love that you brought this up. I'm ready to go. Go ahead.
So let alone the business, right? We understand a human being requires things, and we're going to give it to them because we have to. That's what we feel like we're obligated to. Your business is a little different, though, because you get a little obsessed in your business. Because, again, there's no blueprint to this shit. It's no blueprint. So when you get obsessed in the business because you want it to grow, so it's like, you start doing things, right? And you're like, oh shit, I'm getting some success, so I'm gonna do it more, right? And what you start doing is you start putting more in and you start to neglect on the other side, right? So I'm not saying that this is healthy. I'm just saying this is more, I don't want to say normal, but I see this more than when I don't see it.
And then you see that, right.
But I just learned that even like David Shands, right? I interviewed him. He said, "Yo, I really don't do too much in my business." He's like, I work, I get home by 3 every day, which I found out is a lie because I've been around this guy a lot and he puts a lot of time in his business. He put a lot of time in his family and his church too. Shout out to him, but he ain't get home at 3 all the time. But essentially, he like, yo, for the most part, I get home at 3 with my family. I'm turning my phone off. I ain't really answering no business calls. But he had to learn how to put things in position in place to be able to get to that point. But before that, right? Sleep is for suckers. That's his whole brand. That's what we're thinking because we don't know no better.
Right, of course. And
so depending on where you have your, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you up, but depending on where your business is or when you have your child compared to where you are in your life with your business is depending on which is going to get more attention than not. Not saying that's a good thing or should happen. I'm just saying that's the harsh reality sometimes.
Right. So, number one, I love everything you just said. Phenomenal. And SCOE, I see you in them comments. I'm about to come to you in 2 seconds. You just dropped some jewels and I'm with you. But this is something I want to say is that, like, you have to learn, as we all, is that you have to recognize that part of that mantra of sleep is for suckers is a combination of male machismo and fear of failure. You know what I'm saying? And like we have to learn that life, it is imperative in life that we learn balance and that we learn the prioritizing of energy. All right. So yes. So say for instance, if you want to be a billionaire, it's going to take you a certain amount of time to achieve billionaire status. If you are unhealthy as hell and you're overworking yourself, overexerting yourself, you will die before you get to the billionaire space.
When did you learn that though? Because at 18, 19, 20, which a lot of people are having kids at, you don't know that. You see what the success you see what you're putting in, right? And you see what you're getting from it. And you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, and you got energy. You have endless amounts of energy, so you don't mind staying up all night. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, when I first left home and I started working for this record label and I was signed as an artist, bro, I would work a 12-hour work shift and then do another 8 hours in the studio. I might sleep 3 or 4 hours, get back up and do the same thing 7 days a week. But that's a part of being young. You have the ability to do that when you're young, but as you get older, we have to find the balance. Why? Because first of all, your knowledge level shifts. So then you learn that you don't need to put as much physical labor in, number one. Number two, you have more, your life it expands out. So as your life expands out, you have a partner, you have a girlfriend, you got kids, you have a home, you have family. Look, your family shifts, like your space in your family shifts. So you go from being a child to being an adult, and from being an adult to being the caretaker of the family. So your parents shift from being the caretakers of you to you being the caretakers of them. So like, life, your perspective and your space in life changes over time as you grow. So it becomes necessary for you to shift your energy and shift your time and reprioritize as necessary so things can run smoothly. How do you learn that? You grow up and it becomes a part of your reality. The problem comes is that unfortunately in our community, our elders didn't have the information and they didn't have a lot of the things necessary to teach us how to correctly, make these transitions. So it becomes rougher. And that's the reason why these conversations are so important. But let me jump into this. All right. SCOE said, that's why you should have a partner. So when you have a baby or you have a business, and I'm going to take the word partner out and I'm going to put in having community, having people that work within your business, your staff. And I don't like calling them employees. Hey, your community, the people that work with you to build that business, making sure that they're healthy minded, that they're positive, that they're all about the development of the business. Think about the same energy you need that for a child. You want people that love and care about the child, that want the best for the child, and are going to do what's best for the child so the child can grow and develop properly. Go ahead.
I just feel like you having a lot of conversation after the fact that you learn, right? When we start these businesses, who the fuck are we employing? We're starting it by ourselves. We have nobody to employ. We don't have no fucking money to keep the business running. So I get what you're saying, right? I'm not disagreeing with you, but let's go to, I hope I'm saying it right, Sco, right? Let's go to the partner part, right? A lot of times we fail at these situations because we don't, I'm sorry, it might hurt your feelings, but we don't have no fucking help, right? So that's why so many women are complaining so much because they get in situations at an early age, right? And the partner they thought that was for life wasn't even for a second, right? So now they got a baby by themselves. They take care of this kid by themselves. So when they do want to start a business, they can't because it's unfair, right? But let's paint a picture. If you do have the right partner, right? Then you can shift responsibilities. So now it's a little bit easier for me to put time into my business because I got a partner that got my back, right? And let's just be real. It's unfortunate, but a lot of times I'm just being real. Like I'm transparent. A lot of times women are put in this place where they have to be the barrier of the struggle, like because they have to take care of the children. A lot of things rely on them, right? It just is what it is. And if you have a strong woman by your side, that helps us tremendously. So that's why when we even have these conversations of like 50-50, I mean, honestly, that's the least they can get. I'm just being real. But I say all that to say, when you're by yourself, right? Think about it. I had a conversation with Justin Lyons. She was saying about how, you know, her son has football practice, and sometimes she has to make a decision of going to the football games or going to get this bag so her son don't live a life that she had to live. But guess what? Her providing in one area is taken away from another area. So now her son is hurt because he wants this time for his mother. But guess what? You know what else he would be hurt about? If he had to struggle the same way his mother struggled, but if he had to struggle the same way his mother struggled, that he had no idea about because he wasn't even around. So I get what you're saying. Your business is your child, but when you by yourself, it's hard, bro.
It's hard. And let me and I'm gonna add even more to that. It is so important to make sure that when you are making those choices, your children, the same as your business, you're making sure that you let that child understand the reason why decisions are being made, understand why you put certain things in place so things can shift and move like it's supposed to. So anyway, you know what I mean? I mean, even if they 5 years old, you got to remember, hold on, let me say this. Even if the child is 5 years old and they're not going to understand and still cry, we still remember. We remember conversations. As a grown man, I remember conversations my parents had with me. And at the time, I didn't agree with it. I thought they was crazy. I was mad at them, whatever. But it sticks. And then as you get older, you start realizing all of these things. And you start putting that stuff into play. So don't always worry about, like I tell people this all the time. Like raising your children is not just about what is said in the moment. I mean, it is about what's said in the moment, but it's not about them taking it and implementing it in the moment. It's making sure that information is there so that as they are replaying things throughout life, it's there for them to access. So anyway, SCOE said, learn on the journey. That's the best part. I agree with you. Ken Brown, shout out to you, my G. Thanks for tuning in. He said, I don't have any kids. My 5-year-old business is my child and I'm the parent. You are so very correct. And the key word is good. I don't know where that came from or what that has to do with anything, but shout out to you for that.
Having a good partner.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. All right. All right, let's move into the next phase. How is this important? Now that we both understand the parallels between a business being a child and children being children and all this, and now mind you, everything that I'm saying to you works great in a business, but it also works great in child rearing as well. But I'm staying away from that because I don't have children and I don't want people to curse me out, even though you're going to curse me out anyway. I'm totally fine with that. Healthy rules in a business are so important. You conducting rules and regulations for how you want your business to be structured, how you want things to be carried out on a regular basis, laying timelines and expectations for people that work in the business are critical. Yes, it's annoying that I have to come up with a handbook and rules and regulations. And yes, people don't want to read it, but it is imperative that you create that. Why? Because you want your child and you want your creation to grow the way you want it to grow. And also it is important for it to grow healthy. So if we did not have rules on when videos went out on his YouTube channels, videos would come out anytime. They might not come out at all because you're so not pressed to do things. You just do it whenever you feel like. And guess what? None of us ever feel like it. But once you institute the rules and regulations that, a video has to drop on this day, a video has to drop on that day, what ends up happening next? Then now you have to communicate to the editors, you need to edit this by a certain time. And then subsequently it goes to the creator. You have to create it and have it submitted by a certain time. So then now structure is implemented. And people then subsequently are now falling into a process so that things can happen and things come out on the time and people can do what they want. Same thing with pay structure. Why don't you get paid every day? Because it just would be too much chaos to try to pay everybody in a business every day. So you relegate paying people to a certain time period. Hey, you pay them every week or every 2 weeks or once a month. Why? Because it keeps the drama down. It keeps unnecessary processes from ruining a business. Think about raising your children. If you were to try to nitpick your child every day about every little thing they would do, the child would have extreme anxiety and would probably eat a bullet. But you learn how to give your child space to make mistakes, give your child room to grow, but you have structure. You have the times when you step in. You have the times when you praise them for doing good, but you also get at them when they do things bad. Everything doesn't need to be talked about. Everything doesn't need to be praised, but there are times and places where everything must happen. The same thing goes for a business. Boundaries. Having the purpose for the business is about a boundary. Yo, we are not here to talk about the greatest porn hits of the last 20 years. That's not what the J-Hill Network was created for. So that's a boundary that we're not going to get into. That's not our thing. We're also not going to talk about, Irish history from the 1820s to the 1930s. Why? Because that's not a part. So we have boundaries. We have rules and regulations and things that are within the boundaries and outside of the boundaries, so that we know how conversations are developed, how conversations are had, who we're talking to, why we're talking to them. Those are boundaries. You know what I mean? The same thing with children. Habits. What are the habits of the owner, and how those habits trickle down and affect the people that work behind the owner? If the owner is positive, speaks to everybody, supportive of everybody, if the owner is working hard, if the owner is learning and taking in information, think about how the people around the owner are going to start thinking. They are going to want to emulate what the owner is doing. Why? Because we trying to keep up with the guy that's employing us. I ain't trying to get fired. And if my owner is challenging me to grow and I refuse to grow, what do you think that owner is going to do? That owner is going to get rid of me and find somebody that is willing to learn. The owner is going to get rid of me and find somebody that is willing to grow. Think about that. We, as creators, as parents, if you are a parent, are you challenging your child to learn, or are you allowing them to remain in ignorance? If you allow your child to do nothing all day but play video games and watch television, what the hell do you think they're going to do when they turn 20? If you don't challenge your child, if you don't push your child out of their comfort zone and have them experience different things. Hey, I went horseback riding at 13 years old. Big fat black kid on a horse, hilarious, but I did it. Zip lining, I hated it, but I did it. Wind sailing, did it. Boating, did it. Canoeing, did it. Tennis, did it. My parents put me in everything. I hated baseball. Played it for 2 years. Still hate baseball. Will never stop hating baseball. Hated it before and really hated it afterwards. But I at least experienced it. My hate comes from a real place. So anyway, like, it's the same thing with a business. Is that, as creators and as people that own, we have to set the standard and set the practices so that we can have healthy people around us and the business can grow healthily. The business mirrors the creator. This is an important element. Your attitude becomes the attitude of your business. Your attitude becomes the attitude of your children. Notice how people that are very ambitious normally end up having ambitious children. Notice how people that are, out into the world, like your children take on parts of you. Your child, you might have a child that's introverted, but that doesn't mean they can't turn it on and off. They just choose to not turn it on. You know what I mean? Like, children, they pick up a lot from us. And your business is the same way. Because your employees and the people in the business emulate what they see the leader do. Because we see your success and we try to multiply that so that we can get a higher place. Yo, in any collective, whether it's a school, whether it's a business, whether it's college, whatever, like, we're all trying to be top dog. We are all trying to be seen. We're all trying to be acknowledged. So the best way to be acknowledged, to be seen, to get better pay, to get better position is, I got to outdo the person behind me. So if the boss is going to go out and he can go make $1 million, I'm going to try to make $2 million. I'm going to try to watch what he's doing, he or she, excuse me, because this is not, I'm not trying to make this a sexist thing. Whomever the person is that is the lead, that is the owner of the business, they will set the example, and the people, and if they have a healthy group of people around them, those people are always going to try to take what they learn and implement it, refine it, and make it better. Because that's what a healthy, productive group is always going to be about. So making sure that we do all those things are super important. Business, last thing, and we're going to get up out of here because I know I bored y'all to death tonight. Business needs community. The business needs community. The business needs community, meaning that the business needs to be around people. The business needs community. The business needs vendors, subcontractors. The business needs consumers. The business needs customers. The business needs employees. These are all community. So like you have to start thinking about when people have a business and then your business is in your house and don't nobody never come to your house. How's your business? I done met a girl. I met multiple women. Oh, yo, I make candles. Word? Yo, you be at the flea market? Nah. Okay, so is your stuff in the store? Nah. Yo, just cash that. I just tell people I got it and they cash at me the money. Well, how do you do that? I posted on my Instagram. How many followers you got on Instagram? 100. What? You know what I'm saying? Like the display is in the house. Like how, you need community. People that can't buy the candle until the candle is out of the house. People got to see it. You have to get out of your comfort zone, out of your space, get your business out to the public so that people can be involved, so that people can lay judgment. Somebody gonna come and tell you they don't like it. Guess what? They might be telling you something that you might need to change, but you're not gonna know that until you bring it to the community. Yo, your business is not going to grow without community. You need to find a community. You need to embed it into the community. And then you have to create the symbiotic push and pull so that people can get what they need and you can get what you need. The business gets what it needs and everybody grows. From that point, Jay, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Because I know I'm over talking like crazy.
Nah, I think you're right though. I feel like we can't forget about the process in it though, right? Like you said, it needs a community. And I'm not saying that you can't do it in your house. That's cool. You can do it in your house, but you gotta be able to position yourself so it looks professional, so people won't know that you're doing it in your house. So when you tell them that you're doing it in your house, they like, damn, oh shit, I can't believe you doing this in your house. That's dope. But even with, like you said, get that push and pull. Like when opinions are good. People having opinions means they're paying attention to you. So I know sometimes critiques can hurt, right? Sometimes it can hurt your feelings, but guess what? It's only there because they paying attention to you. Because if they ain't know who you was, nobody gonna give a fuck about it. Nobody. It just is what it is. So when they critiquing what you got going on, take it as a good thing. I know it might hurt though. It might hurt. It's gonna hurt, and it's okay.
It's gonna hurt.
You gotta learn how to weave in and out of what's good and what's not good, what you can listen to and what's just bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you. So me, when Shade Room and all these other blog sites, I'm learning to love them. You know why? Because when I go in the comments, it shows me how stupid people can be. In return, now I make everything in life work for me. So in return, when somebody comment something on my page, I'm able to differentiate what's stupid and what's something that something that can really help me benefit, something that my business can really benefit from. You feel me? So when I see on the highest of platforms, people are saying the dumbest shit. I'm not exempt from it. So guess what? They're gonna do the same thing for me. But guess what? I've seen it before. Now it's easier for me to differentiate what's bullshit and what can really help me. I remember when I first started, I did an interview and it had music in the background. And it's like, why the fuck he da-da-da-da-da-da? Understanding how to separate the messenger from the message, right? They said the rudest shit on YouTube. Like, why the fuck he got music on his background when he's doing an interview? That don't even make sense. But I was able to understand the message. Oh, this might not be smart. I never knew that. And they don't know me. They just commenting on something that's public. So, but to go back to your statement that's coming full circle, it definitely needs a community, right? Everything needs a community, but we might not can afford the community. We might not have the opportunity to be in the spaces to get people to help us. We might be in a position to build a community like we wanted. Guess what you got to do? You got to create the community for yourself. You know, I can only tell you from my own experience. I created every position that I got somebody doing for me now. I made it easy for people to help me. You can ask everybody. This is something that people that lose sight of. I never had the most money, right? So I was editing everything. I was doing the lighting. I was doing the audio. But guess what? Even that is setting grounds for a community. Because now I know that I need an audio guy because I'm doing the audio. I know I need somebody to edit because I'm editing. I need somebody that's going to do a rundown for me. Tell a guest what apart. Tell them, give them all the details. Ask them, do they want any accommodations? People like that, right? I had to learn that, but I built that from me. So I was 10 positions when it was only one of me. Before I had 10 people to play the positions, you feel me? Or before I had 5 people to play the 10 positions. But I had to build that for myself. So don't look at it. People be looking at the easy way out. Like, I need a community. I can't afford it, so I can't do it. No, build it yourself, right? And then what happened is, once I put things in place, I was able to bring people up to give them opportunities that they did not have. I understood that I can't go to the professional photographer because he looking for a different type of opportunity that I can't give him. He looking for a different type of, he looking to be put in a different type of position that I just don't have. So guess what I can do? Because I learned how to do it, I can go to somebody who looks at it as something big and teach them how to do it. Now now I added value. Now they have something that they can make real money from. Now they can do something on their own. Now they have so much value that they did not have. You got to give people value, right? So when you talk about having a community, you got to build it. I mean, unless you're rich and you can just hire people like that, but it don't. A lot of times it don't work like that. I'm just saying.
Even if you got, I've seen people even with money that couldn't build a community because they never learned how to see people at their level and appreciate people at their level. You know what I'm saying? And that is so important. And then I think another point at the beginning before you went into the great point that you made, one of the things that people need to realize is that sometimes you need to wait. It might not have been that time to start the business. You might have needed to wait a little bit of time before you get out there. You know what I mean? Maybe you needed to wait until you got around a community or you learned how to build a community. Sometimes you might need to work with somebody else and then switch into that. So like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot having a child. There's a lot that you have to research. There's a lot that you have to learn and that you have to be patient, but you have to be tenacious and never stop. When it comes down, like anybody can have a child and raise a great child. Anybody can have a business and have a great business. But you have to have the wanting and the willingness to put the time and the energy into it so you can get out of it what you want to. Now, before we get out of here, I want to once again shout out Tunnel ATL. He said said it was meant for me to hear this. This is my first time watching. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that our discussion, gave you something you could get out of it. You know what I mean? Andre Robinson, he said that's real. When Jay Hill was going in, he was saying that was real. And then I think earlier he said, in response to a question we had about mentorship, he said it was more helpful for him to do the mentorship program for web development. It was more helpful than school. I got my bachelor's from GSU in computer science. The camp taught me how to be a developer and how to network, which we will be talking about that next week. How to network is a huge topic that has to be just talked about. And I don't feel like I don't think I've ever seen a video about networking, but we about to talk about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's so important. But thanks, Jay, man. I ain't trying to run you off, but thanks for, you going back and forth with me, and dropping the jewels, you know what I'm saying? You be on your dean sometimes, bro.
I appreciate that, dog. This shit was good though, man.
Man, I'm loving this, bro. I'm loving this. Oh, wait a minute. SCOE said sometimes the people on your level still overcharging because they chasing the money and not building a business.
That depends where you at though. Because on my level, you got think about it, bro. The things I was doing when I first started, I ain't doing now. So true story, bro. My first hosting gig, right? I was hungry to host. I drove to Delaware from Baltimore for $50. You think I'm gonna do that now? It don't mean it don't mean that I'm not as hungry. I work hard to get out of that position. So no, I ain't doing that. Yeah, the people I was hosting for free, I ain't doing that. No, the clubs I was hosting for free, I ain't doing that. You got to be crazy out your mind. You get what I'm saying? So that's a tricky, but that's why it was so important for me to do these things myself, because I understand it. Because guess what? As much as I can say what I ain't doing, I got to be able to recognize what somebody else ain't going to be willing to do. And I can't let that hurt my feelings, because guess what? I'm going to go to somebody who I think is on my level and they're going to be on the same shit. They're going to be like, bro, no. Like, I get you want to build, but I'm doing this to take care of my family now. And I understand that. So just as much as I don't expect nobody to negotiate I don't expect nobody to think I'm going to negotiate my prices for them. I don't expect to negotiate nobody prices for them. So guess what I did? I said, I understand the business. I understand how it works. So I'm going to get everything in place myself. literally, because it ain't about what they lack or what they don't lack or why they ain't trying to help me. It ain't about that. It's about me getting the job done. So I'm gonna get everything in place, and then guess what? If I do have somebody on my level, if they can help me, they will help me because it's easier. They don't have to bring all their equipment. They don't have to do all this work. Only thing they gotta do is the bare minimum. It's like, yo, I see you doing your thing, so I'll do that for you, dog. But when you come and ask a nigga to pour that all into your business, it's like, bro, come on, dog. I get paid for this. Come on.
That's the fact. And I you know, and kind of going back to what you know a few moments ago, is that like, yo, if y'all think about it on a spiritual level, there's a time and place for everything. So somebody might be overcharging you because it ain't your time to get that knowledge or that information. You may not have even been ready to consume the knowledge base. I tell people this all the time. Like, yo, a part of growing up is recognizing that there's a time that certain information is going to hit you the right way. You could have heard the same thing 15 times, but until you was ready to really understand it and receive it, or until you're in a space in life where you perceive, like your perception of the world shifts and then that information makes sense, it's going to sound like gibberish. So like, you know what I mean? Like it may just not be your time, you know what I mean? Or you're not in the right space. So, you know, don't overjudge yourself. I tell people that all the time, Barry. Don't overjudge yourself. Don't keep kicking yourself. The best thing, if things aren't working out, take a few steps back and work on yourself, because that's never going to fail. If you continue to educate yourself, to put money in your pocket, you know, to create the best version of yourself, to become the most healthy version of yourself, when it is time for you to make that turn or to get into that business or to build a business the right way, whatever the situation may be, if you're the best version of yourself, you ain't doing nothing but making yourself, you know what I'm saying, more valuable so that you can get to the money faster. You know, you can build the business faster. You can, you know what I'm saying, you know, just being in the best place possible. So like, I tell that everybody, regardless, whether you're in the business, building a business, or thinking about building a business, you need to have a plan in place to take care of yourself, to build yourself, and to improve yourself time and time again. And it ain't just about eating avocados. It's about reading books. It's about consuming different information. Like, yo, if I can tell y'all anything, I listen to NPR every day. I stopped listening to a lot of music. Not saying that I don't enjoy it. I love music, and I listen to a lot of music and watch a lot of shows, but I have conditioned myself to start taking in more educational content so that I can improve my understanding of the world, and I can improve my understanding of myself and the people around me so that I can be more effective. So this is the last thing, and we getting up out of here, is SEO. So E said, talking about the startup business, not with the motion already. I personally pay and support, but they charging the same price as big brands and not give the same service. Okay. All right, you're talking about a startup business. So, hey, babe, let me tell you something. Instead of trying to go to somebody else to tell you how to start the business, just start the business and start bumping your head against the wall on your own. That's the only thing I can tell you. Start bump your head against the wall, man, and then find somebody everybody got a friend around.
No, I think he's talking about. I think he's talking about trying to collaborate with small businesses. They be trying to text like they already on, like. They don't got no motion.
Got you.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Got you.
A lot of niggas think they somewhere they not, basically.
Got you. Okay, I learned something new today. So thank you so much, yo. Hey, everybody that's in here, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Please, every time we come on, please comment. Bring us whatever you got, and then like eventually we gonna start bringing people on so they can have conversations with us or whatever. We just still getting to know everything. We still learning.
I want to ask y'all for a favor. The 8 people that's on, that's cool. I'm good with that, bro. We just starting this thing. We ain't even promoting this shit for real. If you like this, right? If you can share it with one person, I ain't saying I don't need you to promote this shit like that. Share it with one person, right? Let them know why you liked it. Make sure you like it, share and comment, right? But if you could just share it with one person and let them know we here. What we come here Tuesday, Monday? What?
Yep. We doing Monday and we doing Thursday right now.
Yeah, so if you could just tell them come back on Monday, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate that.
Yep. And don't forget, the church needs those funds. So just go ahead and hit that J Hill Cash App. What's your Cash App? Give me a Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Because we still making a collection for the new building fund. You know what I mean? Because we trying to build a new building so that we can have service all together. So just it's the cash sign MR_JAYHILL. No underscore. Oh snap. Okay. It's cash sign.
I put it in there. I'll put it in there.
There you go. So like, go ahead and donate that money to our build a church fund. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tap in with y'all on Monday, which is gonna be the day after New Year's. So man, we love y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Thanks, Jay, and your co-host. My name is JS1. So like that's Jay Hill. This is JS1. Jay Hill, JS1. This is gonna be crazy. I don't know how we're gonna get this done. But anyway, yeah. So make sure y'all have a safe and wonderful New Year's. Jay is gonna be in the house. That Jay is gonna be in the house. I'm going to a party, man. My oldest brother is doing all you can drink, all you can eat. It's about to get crazy. And I'm going to stay in a hotel room for recovery for 2 days. We're going to check y'all on the New Year's. We're going to tap in. We love y'all. Jay, anything else you want to say before we got out of here?
Nah, thank you, man. I really appreciate everything, for real.
Anytime. We check y'all next time. Peace.